Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayong Vishnupad Paramhansha Parivrajakacarya Ashtottar Sato Shri Srimad Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON founder Acharya His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Mathura Dham ki jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shamabeto Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gaurango. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschata Deshvatari. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nārāyaṇaṁ namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam deving sarasating vyasam tato jaya mudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 5th Canto, Chapter 24, The Subterranean Heavenly Planets. Texts 27 through 29, 27, 28 don't have purports, so I'll just read them through. Text 27, tasyānucaritam upariṣṭād vistariṣyate yasya bhagavān svayam akhila-jagad-gurur nārāyaṇo dvāri gadā-pāṇir nija-janānukampita-hṛdayo jenangusthena pada daśa-kandharo yojanayutayutang dig-vijaya ujjātitha. Śukadeva Gosvāmī continues, translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Śukadeva Gosvāmī continued, My dear King, how shall I glorify the character of Bali Mahārāja, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of the three worlds, who is most compassionate to his own devotee, stands with club in hand at Bali Mahāraja's door. When Ravana, the powerful demon, came to gain victory over Bali Mahārāja, Vamanadev kicked him a distance of 80,000 miles with his big toe. I shall explain the character of activities of Bali Mahārāja later in the 8th Canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Please repeat after me. Śukadeva Gosvāmī continued. My dear King, how shall I glorify the character of Bali Mahārāja, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of the three worlds, who is most compassionate to his devotees, stands with club in hand at Bali Mahāraja's door. When Ravana, the powerful demon, came to gain victory over Bali Mahārāja, Vamanadev kicked him a distance of 80,000 miles with his big toe. I shall explain the character and activities of Bali Mahārāja later in the 8th Canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Text 28. Tato adhastalat tale mayo namo danavendra stripuradhipatir bhagavata purarina trilokishang chikirshuna nirdagdha shapura trayostat prasadal labdhopado maya binimayar charjo mahadevena parirokshita bigato sudarshana bhayo mohiyate. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Beneath the planet known as Shutala is another planet called Talatal, which is ruled by the Danava demon named Maya. Maya is known as the Acharya, master of all the Mayavis, who can invoke the powers of sorcery. For the benefit of the three worlds, Lord Shiva, who is known as Tripurari, once set fire to the three kingdoms of Maya. But later, being pleased with him, he returned his kingdom. Since that time, Mayadanava has been protected by Lord Shiva, and therefore he falsely thinks that he need not fear the Sudarshan Chakra of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Please repeat after me. Beneath the planet known as Sutala is another planet called Talatala, which is ruled by the Danava demon named Maya. Maya is known as the Acharya, master of all the Mayavis, who can invoke the powers of sorcery. For the benefit of the three worlds, Lord Shiva, who is known as Tripurari, once set fire to the three kingdoms of Maya. But later, being pleased with him, he returned his kingdom. Since that time, Mayadanava has been protected by Lord Shiva, and therefore he falsely thinks that he need not fear the Sudarshan Chakra of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 29. Tato adhastalan mahatale kadra beyanang sharpanang naika shirasang krodha basho namogana kuhaka takshaka kaliya shushenadi pradhana mahabhogavanta patatri rajadhipate purusha bahadana baro tamu dijamana sakalatrapatya shurhit kutumba sangena kochit pramotta virahanti. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The planetary system below Talatal is known as Mahatal. It is the abode of many hooded snakes, descendants of Kodru, who are always very angry. The great snakes who are prominent are Kuhaka, Takshaka, Kaliya and Shushena. The snakes in Mahatal are always disturbed by fear of Garura, the carrier of Lord Vishnu. But although they are full of anxiety, some of them nevertheless sport with their wives, children, friends, and relatives. Please repeat after me. The planetary system below Talatal is known as Mahatal. It is the abode of many hooded snakes, descendants of Kodru, who are always very angry. The great snakes who are prominent are Kuhaka, Takshaka, Kaliya and Shushena. The snakes in Mahatal are always disturbed by fear of Garura, the carrier of Lord Vishnu. But although they are full of anxiety, some of them nevertheless sport with their wives, children, friends, and relatives. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is stated here that the snakes who live in the planetary system known as Mahatal are very powerful and have many hoods. They live with their wives and children and consider themselves very happy, although they are always full of anxiety because of Garura, who comes there to destroy them. This is the way of material life. Even if one lives in the most abominable condition, he still thinks himself happy with his wife, children, friends, and relatives. So, subterranean heavenly planets. Subterranean means underneath. So, in this way we are getting the description of the universe, the planetary systems in the universe. Vedas give us perfect knowledge, perfect understanding. And the understanding is that every single universe has 14 planetary systems. And out of them, 7 are upper and 7 are lower. So here we are getting the description in the 5th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the descriptions of the lower planetary systems. Underneath, below the earth, there are 7 lower planetary systems. And they are subterranean, underground. In a way, we can consider the planetary system as a building with 7 upper stories and 7 basement. 7 stories in the basement. And the 7 upper planetary systems are on the surface of there is the Earth planet, the 7th one. And then there are 6 upper planetary systems. And those 6 upper planetary systems are Bhurloka, Bhubarloka. Bhurloka is the Earth planet. Bhumandal, Bhurloka. Then above that is Bhubarloka. Then Swarloka or Sargaloka. Then Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka and Satyaloka. So these are the 7 upper planetary systems, and then there are 7 subterranean, underground planetary systems. They are Atal, Bital, Sutal. Then we got the descriptions of below Sutalaloka. Sutalaloka is the place where Bali Mahārāja resides. Below that is Talatal, then below that is Mahatal, and then there will be descriptions. Below that is Rasatal, and then finally Patal. The 7 lower planetary systems. Now, just as in a basement, you don't get the sunlight. The lower planetary systems don't get sunlight. The sun gives light only to the higher planetary systems. Starting from Bhurloka. And those planetary systems, there is no light. But they have artificial light. Those artificial lights are coming from jewels. Jewels in the heads of the serpents give out the light. Now from that we can get one understanding that close to Krishna one is, they are in greater light. And further away from Krishna is, they are in darkness. Of course, here this light is the light of the sun, but ultimately it is, the ultimate light is the light of knowledge. The more one is in the light of knowledge, he goes to higher and higher planetary systems. And further away one is from Krishna, he is in more and more darkness. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki. Jai Shri Shri Gaur-Nitai ki. Jai Shri Shri Prahlad Nrsimhadev ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. In the world around us also we see, more materialistic one is, more he remains in darkness. More materialistic one is, more he spends his time at night. And more spiritual one is, the more he spends his time in light. So that is why it is so important to go to bed early and get up early. Especially those who want to practice spiritual life, they must go to bed early and get up early. Why go to bed early? In order to get up early. If you go to bed late, then naturally you will get up also late. So in this way, we can see, like nowadays, there's so much nightlife. More materialistic people are becoming, more they're dwelling at night. The bars and nightclubs, gambling places, they are all, mostly they are active at night. It's interesting also to note that there are places that are meant for this kind of sinful activities. Prostitution, gambling, intoxication. There are some places, like in America, there are cities built for those activities. And once you go inside, the arrangements that they made, huge, beautiful arrangement. Of course, I haven't been there. I heard. and I have seen also pictures. I heard that the arrangement there is like when you enter there, you can't make out whether it's day or night. You are completely out of touch with the outside reality. They are in complete darkness. Then they created the artificial light in such a way that even though you may go there in Brahma Muhurta, it will appear to be like midday. Even if you go there at middle of the night, it will appear to be the same. I don't think it's midday. Actually, the arrangement is more like midnight. Like I would rather say, even if you go there in the middle of the day, it will appear to be like middle of the night, lit up with these arrangements. So, these are actually interesting things to note actually, that how people are becoming degraded nowadays. From this description we can actually link with that. Another interesting thing to note is like those places, subterranean heavenly planets, they are lit up with the jewels on the heads of the serpents. These jewels give out so much light. Now, we can also see like how we have created here also the artificial light arrangement for lighting. The snakes have jewels on the head and they give out light. Where do the light come from? Light actually comes from fire. And what is the fire here? The fire here is the poison. The snakes have poison. And poison is fire. Poison is liquid fire. And it is due to that fire that they give out the light in their gems, jewels on their head. Now we also notice that here also we have made a similar kind of arrangement. A serpent's body is like a cable, and at the end of the cable is a light bulb, the jewel. And it is because the current is flowing. Now consider, what is current? Current is also fire. Prabhupada actually translated the word pavaka. Pavaka means fire, but Prabhupada translated the word pavaka as electricity. Electricity. A subtle fire. Like electricity, thunderbolt. When somebody gets hit by thunderbolt, what happens? His body gets burnt because of the fire. So it is the fire that is flowing through the cable. Now, doesn't it look like big serpent and many, many hoods? On each hood, there is jewel. There are many hoods and they're giving out light. That's that's a artificial replication of the subterranean heavenly planet. Previously, people did not have nightlife. How many of you lived in a village? Was there any nightlife? At the most, the nightlife was kirtan. Yes, they used to sing. I remember, like from a distance you would hear the sound of kirtan coming. Once in Vrindavan I was with Srila Prabhupada. I used to be with Srila Prabhupada from 12 o'clock midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning. And sometimes Prabhupada couldn't sleep, so I was attending Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada was sitting on his bed. I was massaging his back. And Prabhupada just told me, "This is India." I couldn't understand. Like sometimes Prabhupada used to speak like that. Just he would start to speak. He said, and he says, all the time there is kirtan going on. And then I heard from a distance the sound of kirtan is coming. But otherwise, people used to just, at the most, 8 o'clock, go to bed. 8:30. Those who had to study, at the most 9 o'clock. With a hurricane lantern, right? No electricity. And the big light was Petromax. Do you know what a Petromax is? How many of you know? That you put petrol and then you pump, and there was a filament. That filament used to get the flow of petrol, and that used to light up. And that was a big light. If there was a festival, then there would be. I think another name for that light was Hazak light. Hazak. Petromax or Hazak. And life was so pleasant. So, with this materialistic progress, people are becoming more and more entangled, and as a result of that, their life is becoming more and more full of distress. It's a distressed life, living in constant fear, as Prabhupada is pointing out. The snakes are afraid of Garuda, because the snakes are the personification of vices, personification of sinful life. And Garuda is the representative of the Lord, the carrier of the Lord, and their eternal enemy. Similarly, gross materialists and devotees have a conflict. Of course, in this age, in the age of Kali, this conflict is not so obvious. The devotees avoid the conflict. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't get into conflict with these people. Avoid conflict. Because why fight with a snake? Someday Garuda will come and take care of them. Don't worry about it. But you don't get into a fight with the snakes. Krishna and his representatives will take care of them. The world situation will improve. dharma will be re-established. In this age, adharma is prevailing. And as a result of that, people are suffering so much. There's materialistic prosperity. There's a lot of prosperity in this world, but people are not happy. All these arrangements are there for happiness and comfort, but they are totally distressed. So that is the thing, like materialistic progress has been there, so much prosperity is, apparent prosperity is there materialistically, but people can't sleep at night. There is so much comfort, comfortable arrangements, but their homes most of the time are full of distress. They're fighting. At home, husband is fighting with the wife, wife is fighting with the husband, father is fighting with the son, son is fighting with the father. Brothers are fighting with each other, brothers and sisters are fighting, sisters and sisters are fighting, cousins are fighting, so everywhere there is fight. So what is the way out? The way out is to surrender to Krishna. Time and time again, Prabhupada pointed out that this material nature is actually a place to prepare ourselves to go back to Godhead. All these arrangements in the material nature is designed for surrendering to Krishna, becoming a devotee of Krishna. Therefore, those who become devotees of Krishna and practice the process that has been prescribed in the scriptures, they are the only ones, those who are happy. Let's see how many of you have accepted Krishna consciousness here, spiritual life here. Are you happy? Or are you saying it just to please me? That's it. And on the other hand, whatever we had been through in the past, it was a life full of difficulties and distress. And one thing, if you are not happy, just in case, if you are not happy, then rest assured, become fully convinced that somewhere something is wrong. Somewhere you're failing to practice the process properly. If you practice the process properly, you're bound to be happy. Prabhupada gave us a simple formula. Chant Hare Krishna, and what's the other half? And be happy. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So if you're properly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you'll be happy. There's no doubt about that. And if you're not happy in Krishna consciousness, then something is wrong in your practice. Anxiety can be there. The more you get into management, the more anxiety you get into. But that anxiety is happiness. Sometimes I chastise the devotees and I know that they are feeling happy about it. Rasananda? Same with Subhananda. Anything goes wrong, he gets the ISKCON expression for that is sauce. Gets the sauce. But it's a matter of, it's a kind of just as a teacher has to correct the students. The spiritual master has to correct the disciple. Preparing yourself to become proper servants of Krishna. Preparing you all to serve Krishna nicely, serve Krishna properly. And then when you become a sannyasi like Bhakti Prem Maharaj, then you won't be chastised anymore. So this is this is the wonderful world of Hare Krishna. Everyone become happily situated in your Krishna consciousness. Anandam buddhi vardhanam. It's not just happiness, it's anandam. The difference between happiness and ananda. I give an example to establish or to explain the difference between happiness and ananda. You see, if you are in a dark place, then you light a lamp and you get some light. And does the lamp give out light forever? When it gets extinguished, no more light. Again darkness. So we are in a world of suffering. And when we make some arrangements to avoid that suffering, we call it happiness. Just as some light is dispelling the darkness. But when the sun comes up, do you need the lamp? Is there any possibility of darkness? So similarly, Krishna consciousness is like being in that light of the sun. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ki. So just as this world is the world of suffering, but when the sun comes up, just as there is no room for darkness, similarly when you invite Krishna or when you become Krishna conscious, then there is no room for suffering. Sufferings are removed forever. Do you remember what happens? 6 things happen when you take to Krishna consciousness. How many of you remember that? Yes? Very good. The first one is kleshagni. Kleshagni, klesha means suffering. And gna means to kill. And gni means killer. Gni. So devotional service is the killer of suffering, destroyer of suffering. So if you accept the process of Krishna consciousness, then the suffering will be removed forever. Now somebody may say that, but still we see that devotees do suffer. Devotees get disease. Recently I went through some suffering condition. I had a very painful kind of experience in a thing called shingles. It's considered to be extremely painful. And I was experiencing it. But did I get affected by that? No. Why not? Because I consider that this is happening to the body, but I am not my body. The doctors were worried. They told me not to travel, at least for 2 weeks. I abided by the instruction of the doctor, and I stayed in Calcutta for 3 days, and I got totally bored. For how long can you lie in a bed or sit around? So on the 4th day I said, okay, I am leaving. And what did I do? I came to Ujjain. And then to Singapore, then to Malaysia, then to South Africa, then to Mauritius. And it was fine. So, that is the thing. The devotees know, because they know that they are not this body, they are spirit souls, they do not become affected by suffering condition. Actually, one of my god brother, the other day was telling me, how did you tolerate this? Because he had gone through himself these shingles. And I told him that I was always considering that compared to death pain, this is nothing. Death pain, at the time of death, that pain is going to be much more acute. So compared to that, this is... Anyway, so the point is, we must learn. Although we are not totally situated in our spiritual identity, but at least we are practicing. We are practicing to become situated in the spiritual identity, transcending our bodily platform. So, and this practice helps. So what to speak of when we become totally situated in our spiritual identity? Then there won't be any body consciousness. So that is what Krishna consciousness is giving us. That is the benefit of being in Krishna consciousness. So now the consideration is, should we remain in materialistic platform, or should we transcend the bodily platform or materialistic platform and come to the spiritual platform? So when you become situated in our spiritual platform, then everything becomes auspicious. So that is the next thing. First one is, Chaitanya Charan, what's the next one? Very good. Shubhada. What's the meaning of the word Shubhada? Right, it's giver. Da means giver. Giver of auspiciousness. So in one hand, the suffering condition is removed and all auspiciousness comes. Chitahari was the third one. Oh, he's translating, okay. Anyway, okay. Okay, it's all right. Abhay Charan. Okay. Moksha Laghutakrit, meaning?
Makes the liberation very, very small.
Very good. Liberation becomes insignificant. And Prema Bhakti was the fourth one. Or Sudurlabha. Moksha Laghutakrit, Sudurlabha. Then the Sudurlabha is very rare. Devotional service is very rare. But did it become rare to us, or it became easy to us? Did you have to struggle very hard to get devotional service, get into devotional service, or it came very easily? How did it come so easily? By Srila Prabhupada's mercy. And Prema Bhakti already told the fifth one. Rasananda was the sixth one. Krishna karshanicha, and it attracts Krishna. Chandrananda Visheshatma is the giver of, fifth one is the giver of joy, transcendental bliss, ananda. And Chandrananda Visheshatma, Krishna karshanicha. So if we practice this process properly, then consequently these things will be achieved step by step. The first thing is no more suffering. Then the life becomes full of auspiciousness. So now that you have found this process, please practice it very, very nicely without any deviation. Become very nicely situated in your spiritual life, help each other to render service. You are seeing Krishna is taking care of us so nicely. Krishna is taking care of us so nicely. And so just offer this life to Krishna without expecting anything in return. Offering means no expectation in return. It'll come. It'll automatically come. When you develop a nice relationship with a very important person, very wealthy person, very influential person, do you have to ask anything from him? No. You just develop your relationship and everything will come. Same thing with Krishna. Simply develop your relationship with Krishna and everything will come. Don't separately ask anything from him. Thank you very much. Everybody become very good devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so this is from Vibhu Chaitanya. Okay, Vibhu Chaitanya had some very nice question. Can the money won by gambling be used in the service of Krishna? So, tell me, what is your answer to that? Vibhu Chaitanya.
These are number of businesses. I read an article in the lab point last week that there were devotees who were very financially, they were in a financially bad situation. They were trying to teach in Vegas last year. So the devotee actually went to us, he won $5,000. So of course it was preaching, but my question is, should devotees do that?
Yeah. Simple answer is no. No. Because first of all, you are not supposed to gamble. Then where is the question of winning in gambling? And the thing is that when you are gambling, whose money you are gambling with? So Krishna's money. So can you afford to lose Krishna's money? Question, there may be, somebody may win. But what if he loses? Right? Therefore, no gambling. And the 4 regulative principles are there. No gambling. So where's the question now? It's something like, can I preach nicely after getting drunk? Okay, any other question? Okay, thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hari.